Ocean Rehab and Fitness. And today we're going to do a full body strength workout. So we're going to be increasing the volume a little bit. Nice, Doreen. You don't want to know what time I got up today. All right, so we'll get started. We do need a couple pieces of equipment. Let me just change this so I can see. If I don't see any new names in here, I think Marnie just changed her name on the thing. I think that's still the Marnie I know. If you're new or you weren't familiar, you can also just you can always write in the chat and ask questions or comments as we go along through this workout. Okay. So equipment we need today. We definitely need a dowel. So some type of long stick. It can be a broom. It could be, some people use canes. It could be your dragon boat paddle for those of you that are on the dragon boat team. It could be, I know someone's used a crutch before, which is not ideal, but they made it work. A dead hockey stick, whatever you have. Okay. And then we want to make sure that we have one or two weights. So I'm probably going to demonstrate with two, but if we're somebody that needs a little more stability, where we need to have our hand like bracing like our chair or like the rim of your wheelchair or something like that, you would probably only need one weight. So if you're able to have two, have them near you or have them close by. I'm showing with soup cans. These are a great weight to be doing some of the workout and exercises we're doing. You can do water bottles. Some of us actually have dumbbells at home. So if that's something you want to use, that's great. I will say that any of the overhead work we do today, because there's a chance we're going to be doing some overhead pressing. If you have pain in your shoulders just by doing like this without weight, then I would just suggest no weight for you on that. And it's not a regression necessarily. It's actually going to help us more. So sometimes just because we're not using weight doesn't mean that you're copping out of the exercise. Sometimes pushing something too much is actually going to cause worse things than positive things, and we want to improve and feel better tomorrow. We don't want to feel worse, right? So treating any overhead without weight can be more of a range of motion exercise and endurance. Okay, so if you have these or available, great. If not, that's fine. And then the last thing we're going to use are some bands. So I always just demonstrate with one, but feel free to, dead hockey stick. George, it's just like a hockey stick that might not have the end on it, like one that someone's not using, like someone's kid. They have them a lot in gyms. So they use dead hockey sticks just for dowel work. So I always give that suggestion. Some people's kids have hockey sticks laying around that they're not using. All right, bands. Okay, so if you have any compromised grip, I do recommend having some type of loop on the end, because we are going to be doing some pushing with this, and that would be the best way. I figured you were just joking, but I figured I'd explain it anyways. Okay, so bands, if you have more than one type, go ahead and have a couple there. For the different resistances, I'm not going to prescribe resistances because I can't see what everybody's doing, but you can have a few there, and then you have options, and you can kind of go with what feels the best for you that day. Okay. All right, and that's it. Some of us like to use, these are optional things. If you have a bender ball or a block, it might be nice to put that in between your knees just to keep our hips still. Okay, or if you have a lot of spasticity or tightness, you can always like pry your legs apart and put this in here, and that will be a better position for your hips. Okay. The other option is to use a ball for our release work, which we're going to do right now. Okay. So start nice, sitting up nice and tall. Okay. And if you need to put something behind your back to create that being tall, then you can do that. Okay, otherwise we're not using the back of our chair, and we're going to roll those shoulders back, slightly tuck your chin, and here we go. So you're going to start one hand. So even though we're doing release work, posture still matters. Okay, we don't want to be like this just because we're doing release work. You're actually going to get into your muscles a lot better when we're sitting with good posture. Okay, and it's just a good habit to get into. A lot of us are sitting a lot of the day, so we want to make sure that you're really being aware of your posture throughout the day as best as you can. And like I said, if you need a prop to help you with that, that's totally fine. Sometimes we need it, and that extra support is great. Okay, so getting into that breast tissue, So if you are female, it'll look like you're kind of digging in and around to get behind the breast tissue to work the muscle. If you're male, it's going to look like you're working a little bit more like straight across at like an angle across your chest. Okay, and then when you're done that, you can slowly start to work into pec minor. So we're just going a little higher. Okay, and you can, even if it feels nice, you can even start to work into the anterior shoulder right here. Okay, so whatever feels good. Make sure that that arm is relaxed, the one you're working on. Okay, and then we're going to come up into subclavicle. So we're doing the whole shebang today. So right below my collarbone, I don't know if you can see that shadow right there. We want to work right under that. So there's going to be some nice soft tissue right here. And this can get pretty tight. All these muscles we're hitting can actually affect like tension in your neck. So for any of you that have like headaches, or you even get some migraines, or you notice that your head is being pulled forward a little bit, these are some things that can really help us, is working into these anterior push muscles. Okay, neck stretches alone don't typically do the job. Okay, and then we're going to come right up into the traps. So I'm using my hand to support my elbow, and I'm really digging in, or I like to call it a seesaw action, where you're just kind of going forward and back, and you're just kind of getting into that muscle there. It's really big and really strong and really thick. So we want to make sure that we're putting a bit of pressure here. Okay, another 10 seconds or so, really working into that area. Today we will do the release. So find a spot that feels kind of tender, maybe tuck your chin slightly back this way. You're going to pin your fingers onto a spot on that trap, pin, and then peel your ear away to go to the other side. Okay, so we pin and peel, pin and peel, pin, and good. You're over halfway. Your own tempo. If I'm going too fast, don't worry about getting out a specific number. Just kind of work here until we're finished the set. I'm going to do one more. Good. Shake that out. Okay. Awesome. Other side. So we're going to relax the other hand or arm, come into this pec here. So pec major. So we're going in and around behind the breast tissue. Okay. We don't want it to hurt. We just want to be firm. Okay, and the ball is usually helpful if you don't have a lot of like digit strength. So the ball is nice because you can cup it and use the strength of your whole arm from the palm of your hand. So whatever you like better is fine. Okay, and coming in a little bit higher into pec minor. Okay, and then remember, this is the section where if you like, you can come out into the anterior shoulder right out here. You can kind of work both. Okay, and then from there, we're going to come up into the neck trap muscle. So that's seesawing action, or just pushing down. Some of us, I didn't say this on the other side, but some of us like this pinching, pinch and pull. That's a nice one. It's a love-hate thing. It's good, but it doesn't feel good all the time. But really does make a difference. Okay, another 10 or so seconds here. Finding those little gritty spots, spots that feel like guitar strings or tenderness. Okay, and then I'm gonna find that little tender spot. I'm gonna get my chin back, I'm gonna pin, and then I'm gonna peel my ear to the opposite shoulder. pin, and then just take notice the feelings on each side. So you've already done the other side. Just see if you feel any differences in the length, like how far your ear goes to your chin, or sorry, ear goes to your shoulder. And, or if it feels more sensitive under those fingers. If you don't feel the stretch or the lengthen when you do this, your hand probably isn't on the trap. So just move it a little bit to a different spot and then see if you feel a difference there. It's typically a little bit further forward than back. So we don't want to go all the way behind our shoulder. Okay, I'll do 2 more. And awesome, good. Shake that out. Okay, we're actually going to go back to the other side. We're going to lift the arm, nice big activation slaps of the lat muscles. So we're working, slap right under the armpit. I'm trying to reach around. So we're getting like along the back. Okay, and you can go all the way down the rib cage. Slap, 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 doing your best to reach. Nice activation. This shouldn't be nothing. You should be feeling that activation happening. Okay, so we should be feeling pressure from the slaps. So it's not little tickles. We want it to make some, bring some awareness to the side of your body. Okay, shake that out, other side. So we take the other hand, bring it up and over, supporting your neck, and we're doing the other side. Nice big slaps. 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. Shake that out. All right, we're going to start with our next tips and rotations. So we're going to start today tipping. We just did this in the release, so this should feel really nice. And up. Good. And just notice the difference if you made a difference in those pin and presses. The only reason why you wouldn't feel a difference is maybe if we didn't get the right spot. Okay, and we want to feel that pull as you do it. Okay, so you can always go back. Every bit of these warm-ups that I do in these workouts have a purpose. So if you're ever unclear or you want to spend more time on it, these are all recorded, these workouts, and you can always go back and pause the video and work on it on your own. Last 2 here. And then we're going to rotate. So we're going to look eyes to the right. Here we go. 1 and center, and 2 and center. Make sure we're sitting up tall and center. And good. Last 4 here. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And now we're going to do shoulder rolls coming forward. 1, nice and big, like we're painting big circles in space with our shoulders. 3 and 4, nice and slow. 5, good, bigger than you think. 6, try and touch those shoulders up to your ears. 7, 8, this is 9, and then 10, and then we reverse it, and this is 1. And 2, 3, 4, and 8, 9, and 10. Awesome. We're going to tuck all the way down, chin. We're going to go all the way into your cat-cow. So round the back, bending forward, looking past your knees, looking past your legs, down at your chair, at the back wall. A deep breath when you're down here. Okay, slowly roll up. Use your hands if you need to. Hands go behind you or somewhere in your chair, in your cushion, shoulders back, lift your heart to the ceiling, and eyes up. Expose your neck. Expose your trachea. Deep breath here. And again, tucking that chin, rounding down. So the chin tuck is super important. We're not getting a full round of the back, round shape or flexion if we're not getting that chin tuck. Okay, the only reason why we wouldn't probably is if you have rods in your back, you might feel a little restricted, but you could still get probably a little bit of something, even if it's just your eyes looking down. Okay, coming up, hands behind you, shoulder blades in your back pockets, reach your heart to the ceiling. Deep breath here. Okay, everybody, we're doing 2 more. Tuck that chin, rounding in the spine, all the way down, moving at your own pace. Slowly try, if you can, grab the backs of your legs and pull yourself down more. Deep breath at the bottom, slowly roll up. Use your hands if you need to. Hands behind you, shoulder blades in your back pockets, and reach your heart to the ceiling. Deep breath here, expose that neck, expose that trachea. And this will be your last one as a group. Here we go, tucking that chin, full thing, all the way down. Slowly looking past your legs at the back of the chair. Let that head hang heavy like it's 1,000 pounds. Slowly rolling up, using those hands to walk yourself up if you need to. Hands behind you, this is your last time. Shoulder blades in your back pockets. Reach your heart to the ceiling and take a deep breath here. Okay, we're gonna reach all the way up to the ceiling. I recommend looking up at your hand. Okay, if you can, we're not here, so we're not over, it's right up to the ceiling. Okay, and then pull that imaginary object down. Okay, and you can definitely lean on something. So you can see I'm leaning on my elbow. You could have your hand on the rim of your chair, whatever it is. Eyes to the hand, good. The only reason why I would tell you to look forward at your monitor is if you have any like neck pain or discomfort here. Otherwise, eyes up. And pull it down and switch. And 5. Last 3. 2. Stretching those fingertips. Can't see mine, but they're stretching all the way up to the ceiling. Okay, and then we're going to take a rotation. So use this other hand, push on something or pull so that you can rotate your torso to tap and look over that shoulder. Other side. Use that hand, push or pull yourself so you can tap and look over that shoulder. Okay, if you exhale on the rotation, you're going to make space and get a little more of that rotation in, which is what we want. Last 3. 9. And 10, awesome. Okay, arms are gonna go straight out. My fingers are spread wide and then hug. Okay, whatever hand just went on top, you're gonna switch it and the other hand is on top. Self-hug. And open, try and really open those arms so we're getting a nice big extra stretch on those pecs that we released in warm-up. Open and good. Last 4 here, everybody. Make sure you're breathing. And 3. And 4. Good. Okay, we're going to use the dowel for the rest of our warm up. So we're going to do hinges. Okay, so first stage is actually if you can't do a hinge or you fall forward doing a hinge, then your first stage is having your hands on your lap and you're going to walk yourself forward on your thighs, keeping a nice long spine. Okay, and then you're going to either use your core to come up or you can walk your hands back and come back up. So it's a hinge. Okay, so if I'm facing this way, when we hinge, I shouldn't see this. See how I just collapsed in my spine? So it's a hinge. So we're coming forward. I'm keeping a nice long spine. So right here, see, it's like a big slope, okay? Or a nice big diagonal and then coming up. So that's stage 1. Stage 2 is using the dowel and we're gonna have it really tight at our chest. Okay, pulling at our chest, shoulders rolled back, nice and tall, and we're gonna hinge as you pull your dowel in towards your chest. And you're gonna go as far as you can, and then think of leading up through the nose to come back up to sitting tall. Okay, so if you go too far and you're like, whoa, and then you can't come up, you've gone too far. So you're only gonna go as far as you can, knowing you can come back up and sit tall. Okay, so these are the 2 stages. I will give a third for those of you that have a hinge practice and want to work a bit more shoulder. You're going to bring the dowel above your head. Same thing. We're here, and you're going to tip forward using that nice long spine, lead with the nose, and come back up, and the hands stay up here. Okay, so I'm going to demonstrate in the middle, and we're going to do 10 of these together. Okay, here we go. Shoulders roll back, squeeze those shoulder blades really tight on that dowel. 3, 2, and 1. We're tipping forward. Feel the weight in your feet right here. Tailbone is going back, and then shine the crown of your head to the ceiling. Think of going up. And don't lose that dowel pressure into the chest, and getting taller as we come back. Beautiful. And again. Slow is actually more challenging on this one, so I'm not going to race through this, and that will give us all some time to explore. And up. Okay, last 4 here. Nice and long in the back of the neck. Try and not crane your neck up. We're not looking up as we tip forward. We're letting our eyes look at the floor. So the neck doesn't change its shape at all. Your head stays right over the spine as it tips. 1 more here. I think I lost track, but that's okay. We'll just call this 10. And come on up. Awesome, good. Okay, still with that dowel, widen your hand grip a little bit more. Arms extended, we're gonna go straight up, keep the chin slightly tucked, and bring it down. So just warming up those shoulders a little bit more. 10 reps here. And 4. Okay, no looking at your hands. So as they go up, I don't wanna see the gaze go up. We keep the eyes forward. Over halfway. And 8. This is 9, good. 1 more, everybody, and 10. And then last thing here, we're just gonna come in, rotate, press, bring it in, and rotate. I'm moving quickly through this warm up right now, but just follow along. We have many reps here, so just catch on and join me when you can. 20 total. Press. Notice when I press, my shoulder isn't coming up, right? It's staying down. Push. It's like you're pushing almost down a little bit. Okay, so it's like you're sweeping a table. We're not letting the dowel come up at all. Staying on that even playing field. Exhale on that rotation. Staying nice and tall. Hopefully, if you're sitting up, you're not using a backrest. If you need the backrest, propping yourself up behind you might help. I didn't really show that at the beginning, but I show it every week, so we should know what I'm talking about by now. Okay. Definitely a day of regulars in here joining me, which is awesome. And you're over halfway. $17, good, last 3. And 20, and you are done that. Awesome, okay, put the dowel away. Go ahead and grab your band. I'm not gonna say which level of band, but we're definitely gonna be using one that we've done this exercise a lot. So we're just gonna do a bit of the external, or the abductions of the hip. So there's 3 ways we could do this. So number 1, I'll just lower my camera a bit. Number one is to tie your band or hold your band like I show. And then one hand on the waist so we can stay nice and tall. I don't want us to collapse. And you're just going to be doing your abductions. Okay. That's step one. Step two is having something in between your knees. This is for anyone that has a lot of spasticity, or maybe they can't get their knees very wide. And you're going to just try and drop the object. My poor neighbors. Here we go. Drop the object. Okay. And then back up. Option three is to treat it as a stretch. And this is for anyone that doesn't have a lot of tone in their legs. Tip forward, come on in and come out here. Okay, someone last time did say that they were restricted by their chair, so they weren't able to open their knees wide. So the other option is to just take this stretch. So you can do about 30 seconds here, and then you can do 30 seconds. So you're bringing your legs above, and we're just getting a nice big stretch in the hips and the adductor, okay? Here we go. So I'm gonna count 20 of these for myself to give everybody enough time. Okay, so sitting up nice and tall, hand on the waist. Okay, so not the hips, we want the waist so we can feel that we're nice and engaged from a 360 all the way around. Here we go, 3, 2, and 1, opening and close. Remember, this is the one where I actually don't want us to push our feet into the floor. So just let your feet be light, really not even focusing down there. It's all in the hips. So right out here. Ooh, keep going. Okay, halfway. Last 5, breathing, getting taller. And this is 5. And done. Beautiful. All right, take the band off. Band aside, just for now. Get a sip of water. And we're going to start with our first circuit of 3 exercises. Okay, so this first circuit is actually going to be with weights or weight, okay? So either 2, or if you need to work with just 1 at a time, that's fine too, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to start with a bent over row. If you need some support, this is a little big, a pillow or something here. For if you were someone that couldn't do the hinge and your hinge practice was the walking forward with the hands, that variation, then you would want something here to tip forward on to support you, okay? Even if you feel like holding your hinge very long, even if you don't use your hands is a bit difficult for you, I would still recommend having some support because it's just going to get us in a better position, okay? It doesn't matter if you can hinge or not. It's just about finding that good position, okay? So otherwise, you're going to find that hinge yourself, eyes on the floor, hands at your sides, holding your chosen weights, and you're going to squeeze your shoulder blades as you row back and then come back to where you started, okay? So we're squeezing those shoulder blades, feeling that back muscle or those back muscles working here and here, okay? If you are doing one hand, obviously you're going to tip forward. You can leverage yourself on the rim of your chair or like under your thigh, whatever works. And you're just going to do 1, and then you can come up and you can switch, okay? The other option too, Marin, I'm not sure if this would work for you, but sometimes this can work where you have the equilibrium here and you can hold both, but then you just alternate. I don't know if that would work. That's also an option because you can kind of come back to that balance here. Okay, so a few options for everybody. So get your weights and here we go. We're gonna end up doing either 10 on each side, okay, or 10 total. I wanna see a nice big squeeze at the back. So we're gonna come in, squeeze, hold for a count, and then release. Okay, so we're not racing through this. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Hold. So nice and smooth, a little bit slower than you'd probably like to do it. Halfway here. Think down and back with those elbows. Breathe. And that is the 10. Okay, come on up. Oh, hold on. How close should your core, how close to your core should your elbows be? Good question. So essentially when we're rowing for this variation right now, I would actually like your elbows pretty tight to your rib cage. I can't picture it right now, but maybe there's a chance that some of us come here and there's like armrests in the way and we'll hit them. So if that's the case, I don't mind if you take your elbows out a little bit. It's not wrong, okay? I'm just giving the two options. So this is choice one, if you're able to. If not, you're gonna come in and separate the elbows just a little bit. But notice how when I do that, past the armrests, if you're gonna hit them, past them, go over and then down and back with the elbows. So you're just kind of doing a bit of an arc, but we want to eventually get them tight. Does that answer your question? Who was that, George? Okay, so we'll finish that up. Hopefully that answered his question. Okay, and then you're going to keep holding your weights. Okay, once again, we might be here holding something, and we're going to do bicep curls. So we're here. Okay, awesome. Thanks, George. So bicep curl. So what happens here is the elbows are glued at the ribs, fingernails are coming up to the shoulders, and then we come on down. Okay, boom, and boom. Okay, I see a lot of this, right? I don't want to see elbows. They have to stay in. Pretend like you were holding a piece of paper right in your elbows, okay? Nice and controlled, nice and controlled. Here we go. This is going to be 15. Last 5, sitting up tall. And 5, awesome. Okay, now we're doing our overhead press. We're never letting go of these weights in this circuit. So bringing those hands up, coming here, arms are at 90 degrees, or we are here holding onto something one hand at a time. Okay, 10 to 15, I'm giving a range depending on where everyone's at. This is also a chance to not use weights. Here we go, 3, 2, and 1. Press. Okay, if you have shoulder pain or you don't do a lot of overhead work, I would recommend not using weights. Just get that range of motion going, get that opening in the chest. I'm going to demonstrate for 15, do what you can. 10 to 15 is the rep range, so work to your abilities. Work to where you're at today. It could change tomorrow. Not looking at the hands as they go overhead. Last 3. And 3, and then take a little rest. Awesome. Now you can put your weights down. So I'm going to time your rest. Okay, so we're going to take a 40-second rest before we do this again. Okay, since we're holding weights the whole time. Oops. Okay, so we still have 20 seconds left. Get water. And then we're doing all that again. Bent over row for 10 with a squeeze at the top. Bicep curls for 15. And then overhead press 10 to 15. Okay. All right, that was our time. Here we go. Okay, so get your support if you need it. Otherwise, we're coming into that hinge. Nice long spine. 3, 2, 1. One more. Hold. Make sure you're holding that contraction. All right, sitting up tall, elbows glued at the ribs. Here we go. The smoother, the better. Pretend like you're moving through something thick like peanut butter. This is 15. Last 5 from here. Keep breathing, everybody. This is a long circuit, not letting go of any weights. If you have to, obviously do it, but we want to try and keep the hands holding the weight for the whole circuit. One more. Okay, here we go. Overhead press. I'll give you like a second or two. Get ready. 3, 2, palms are forward. Everybody should be doing this seated right now. Try smiling if it gets hard. Put the weights down if it gets really hard. Try and finish the reps out. Okay, I'm purposely doing high reps to give everyone time. 5, counting down for me. Whatever number you're at is fine. 4. And last one. And awesome, good. I'm gonna time your break again, 40 seconds, because we're doing a third round today. So catch your breath. If anyone has any questions or comments, please let me know. Enjoy this time without holding your weights. No worries, thanks, Marn. Is it okay to use less weight on one side due to elbow pain? Doreen, just because I kind of know you and I know what you're working with, I would say keep the weights even. So if you're feeling elbow pain, I would just really lighten, like use no weights, match the sides, and really focus on that scap squeeze. Because we don't want to start overworking one side and not the other. The elbow pain is typically going to be something with your grip, so that might be something we want to look at. Making sure that we're getting that wrist flexors and extensors healthy and moving as they should. I hope that answers your question. Yeah, and so that can affect the muscles there, right? Because the wrist flexion and extension attaches there. And the reason there is because you're going to be gripping something. So take your weight light enough to where you don't have elbow pain. If you still have elbow pain with no weight, then I would maybe not do the full elbow bend. Do you have elbow pain with no weight on that? Everybody getting ready? Okay, I'll look at, no, also don't have. Okay, so 2 pounds, that's what you're gonna use. Do it with the weight that you have no pain on, okay? Awesome, here we go. Tipping forward, this is our last round of this, everybody. 3, 2, and 1. Squeeze and release. And release. Nice, everybody. Really squeezing those shoulder blades. Abdominals are drawing in. Nice long in the back of the neck. Squeeze. We're going to do one more. Breathing. Awesome. Keep the weights in your hands. Sitting up tall. Last time, bicep curls. This is 15 higher reps on this one. And last 3. And you are done there. Take a couple seconds. Coming up, here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, I'm counting to 15. You have a range of 10 to 15. If you need to put the weights down in between or in the middle somewhere, that's okay. Just keep moving. Back of the neck nice and long. Breathing, not looking up at your hands. Counting down from, here we go, 5. 90-degree angle with the elbows. 3, 2, and 1, and then we are done with those weights. Good. Put those weights away. We are done with the weights for today. Awesome. Grab a sip of water. We're not quite done yet, everybody. Hardest circuit is over. I'll give you about just under 30 seconds, and then we'll get started. Go ahead and get your bands ready, or band. Okay, so we're going to use a band for a row. We did a perpendicular row. Now we're going to do a horizontal row. So we're going to attach whatever band you used for rowing. We do this one not all the time, but pretty often. So whatever row or whatever band you want to use is fine. So I'm hooking the band around my feet or foot, or some of us have like the door. So try and keep it like from a low point. Okay, shoulder blades rolling back, nice and tall. And we're going to drive the elbows back, squeeze the shoulder blades. My hands are facing each other, my palms. So we're not down and we're not up. Okay, neutral and back. 15 of these. So any anchor point is good, preferable low, which is why I choose the foot. Okay, not a lot of us have anchor points that are low, that are sturdy enough in our houses. So the foot, your foot plate, whatever, something that works. Getting taller. And exhale as you pull. I'm going to do 4 more, following along. And 4. Excellent. Okay, probably get a little bit of a lighter band than what we just did. And you're going to fling the band around your back. And we're going to do our presses. So we're only going to do one side at a time, and then one side at a time on the other side. If that doesn't work for you because your band isn't long enough, you can bring them in here tight, be an anchor with one hand, and you're going to press like this. Okay. Here we go. So like I said, probably a little lighter band than what you just did for your row, depending on where you're at. Okay, 3, 2, 1, and we press all on one side. Keep that chest tall. We don't want to protract here and like round. We want to stay tall. So show off a necklace on your collarbone. This is going to be 10 on each side. My palm is turning down as I press forward. And then we go to the other side. Boom. Seven, that's it. 8, 9, and 10, and then you are done that. Good. All right, we have 1 minute left. Go ahead and get in your position. We're going to hit the row one more time before you leave. So get ready. Hopefully you don't need long of a break. Hook it around your foot or feet or whatever is down there, slightly in front of you. Roll those shoulder blades back, eyes forward. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. We're thinking elbows down and back, palms neutral, which means the palms are facing each other. Nice and long in the back of the neck. 15 reps if you can. Last 5. Almost there. 4 and 5, and awesome. Good. All right, everybody, that is our workout today. Great job. For those of you that are on Ocean Insider Club or you're part of the cohort, if you'd like, it might be a good idea to go ahead and look at the chest, the pec stretch on the wall after this. And if